We are now live. Welcome to What's Good with Gil and Larry. This is our March 15th, 24 show. We'd like to apologize for last week. Quite honestly, it wasn't a lot going on in sports to even comment about. But this week, this show, this episode, oh my goodness, man. So many things is happening in the sports entertainment world, man, that I don't even want to waste time even with the intro. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a slam jam, thank you, ma'am type of show, okay? Because we got a lot of information we about to give y'all. It's a lot of moves been made this week, man. So without further ado, I want to get back to our recap of last week with the Oscars, man. It was a great show. It would definitely made me want to look at movies that I probably wouldn't have watched if it wasn't for our show, you know? So I'm going to let my man Gilly bring us in with the Oscars and everything that went on in Oscars and our picks and predictions and, you know, just the winners and losers and the recap.
Well, first of all, I want to thank all the viewers and listeners who checked out that special podcast. I got a lot of good feedback. We got to keep doing shows like that, man, because it really it made watching a subpar award show really exciting. To me, I very much enjoyed it. My favorite part was when Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito took the stage. That was great for visual effects. They were funny. They were cracking on Michael Keaton, who was sitting in the front row or whatever. And the award for visual effects, the winner was Godzilla. So I was super excited about that. But anyway, quick recap on who we picked and who actually won. For best actor, for best actor, I had picked Bradley Cooper. You had picked, I think, Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy, I did.
And I don't remember who Michelle picked.
I think she was going.
I think she picked Giamatti, but I'm not
sure. Giamatti, but she figured that Cillian would win because the Oppenheimer was the big star of the show, as we thought it would be.
Yeah, and you were right, and she was right. I was wrong. Cillian Murphy won Best Actor.
Yeah.
Best Actress went to, let's see.
Emma Stone.
So it went to Emma Stone in a surprise. We all thought that Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon was going to win.
But you know what? I didn't. To our credit, we did not watch the We did not watch Poor Things. I know Michelle had watched it
until after the podcast.
Afterwards, right? So when I saw her performance in Poor Things, I said I thought she deserved it. I mean, she played a role that I just didn't see her playing. Like she made me look at her in a different light. So for me,
intense.
Very intense. Role. So for me, I thought it was Oscar worthy because she definitely played a role where she was out of her character, like what I'm used to her being. So to be Oscar worthy winner, it had to be a performance where you really stepped out of your shell. And I thought she did an excellent job in that movie, man. Really, it was a weird movie in the beginning, but it came back around towards the end. I thought she did an excellent job of carrying that character because she was polarizing, man. So she deserved it. She deserved it.
Very adult. Don't have the kids in the room when that movie is on.
Yeah, just not. It's X.
We all called this one right. Best Supporting Actor. We thought it would be Robert Downey Jr. It was Robert Downey Jr. So congratulations to him.
Congratulations.
Though it was a little weird that Jimmy Kimmel kind of brought up his little drug habit that he had going on back in the past, but okay. Best Supporting Actress. We got it right.
Yeah,
we all got it right. We Divine Joy Randolph won, and that was pretty cool. And she's a big fan of her publicist, so I'm glad her and her publicist won. Michelle was right on Best Animated Feature. It was The Boy and the Heron.
The Heron.
So I didn't see it. Maybe I'll come across it eventually. Best Director went to Christopher Nolan, which we all picked.
Yep.
And Best Movie went to Oppenheimer, which we all picked.
Yeah. So,
So
so for us to be able to analyze the Oscars the way we did and
yep.
give the viewers a viewpoint of how it went, because it stuck to the theme of every movie
Mhm.
was the same thing. It was slow burners, but it was twists at the end that made it all tie together. So if you got through the middle of the movie, you pretty much, they had you. Now, if you couldn't get past the first, I'll say 30 minutes of the movie, then you probably were going to get why it was Oscar worthy. You know what I mean?
Right.
For me, I felt that that's what the theme was, because all the movies pretty much had the same theme, and I watched all of them except I wasn't able to watch American Fiction yet.
Yeah,
That's the
me
only
neither.
one I haven't been able to watch. But
Mhm.
watched Houston, it was good. ncaa was real good. It was really good.
It was
Um,
really good.
it was really good. Inspiring, definitely
Yes.
inspiring. And both of Rooston
So, so
and
crazy that that's a true story. So
it
nuts.
is, right? It is. At what, she's like 50, 60,
She
swam across
was
to Cuba.
she was 64.
Man, it's
For
crazy.
the people that don't know, this is based off of a true story where this woman was a great swimmer in her 20s. Great swimmer. But she took on the challenge of going from Cuba
Miami, Cuba,
to Florida
Florida.
to what was it? Not Key West. Was it West Palm Beach? Or
West
maybe it
Palm
was
Beach.
Key West.
It was
Might
West
have been.
Palm Beach.
Anyway, and she had failed. At age 28, she failed, and it bothered her. And
Mhm.
she tried again at age 61,
Yes.
I believe. And it took her 5 attempts to finally get it done. But this isn't her going a mile or two and then calling it quits. This is her swimming 24 hours, 36 hours,
Yes.
48 hours, being, inside of 50 miles and things like
Yes.
that. And weird things would happen, a jellyfish attack or something like that. You thought she was ready to give up because everybody else gave up that was on her team, but she was like, I gotta try one more time. I gotta try one more time. And then you find out about her past and her relationship with her coach and stuff like that. Very inspiring. Annette Bening was fantastic. It wouldn't have surprised me if she would have won. Jodie Foster was awesome. You're talking about two pros right there. Really, really knocking it out of the
That was
ballpark.
Annette Bennett. That was Annette Bennett that
That was
played.
Annette Bening.
Man, she did a
That
heck of a job.
old lady was Annette
She did a heck
Bening.
of a job. I did not know
Yep.
that was her, man.
Yep.
She did a
Yep.
great job in that movie.
She
A
was
great job.
fantastic. And
She
she's
was.
really in her 60s, and you see her in the water, and that ain't pool water.
No, that ain't pool water.
No.
That ain't
So,
pool water, brother.
no. So even as an actress,
Man, it's crazy.
trying to, portray an extreme athlete even in her 60s, and she got it done, man. She got it done in her fifth try at age 64. She did it. She's very inspiring. Very much recommend ncaa because it's a true story.
Yep.
True story. And like you said, just as we close on that subject, we are novice when it comes to movie critique. But if you think about our special shows, the 3 special ones we had, they were all about movies and TV specials. And we did pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So
I
I am definitely down with doing more film and television podcasts, whether we incorporate it on our usual stuff or we just have our own. I think Michelle brings a lot to it. As a third person who's watched just as much, if not more, movies and television stuff than we have, plus a female perspective, which is always good. So and she saw Barbie and she liked it.
Did you like it?
She did like it.
Yeah, okay. She gave
did
it a
like
shot. Thanks us.
Because we wound up watching a few movies, like you said, after the podcast. I saw ncaa. I saw Poor Things after the podcast.
Yeah.
You saw a few things. I didn't get to see American Fiction. At some point, I'm going to see it. This Killers of the Flower Moon. It'll be on Netflix eventually.
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
So, that's my thoughts on that. And thanks to everyone who commented and watched it and enjoyed it. It was fun to do. Now Now, the
Let's get
big
to this.
one.
Let's get to this
The
business.
big one.
Let's get
This
to this
week
Let's get to this.
was free agency week.
Oh,
Free agency bonanza in the NFL.
oh,
Between players re-signing,
oh,
players getting cut,
oh.
players getting signed to new teams, trades. Wow. Wow.
Hey, Gilly, we have so much to talk about with this subject, Gilly. I don't know where to begin because this is insane,
I do.
man.
I know where to begin because
Insane.
I sectioned it out by division.
Ooh.
I did every team for every division, and I made note of the notable signings and things like that. I don't have, if a team re-signs, backups and players that we really don't know unless you follow that team.
We don't care about that.
I did one, two,
we don't
or
care
three.
about the 1-year deal with the guy that we don't even know. Okay,
Correct.
We don't care about that guy.
Correct.
What you're going to get in this show is the heavy hitters, the game changers, the roster fillers. We talk about them guys. Okay,
let's do it.
Let's get
Let's do it. So I'll start naming teams and players, and you just give me some feedback on it. We'll start with. I didn't do it in any particular order. It just happened to come out this way. AFC West.
Let's go.
Chargers signed Gus Edwards and Hayden Hurst.
Okay. Running back.
They did need a running back, and they signed a tight end.
Gus Edwards is a good back. He's durable.
All right.
He's durable.
All right.
And Hayden Hurst, tight end. You need a tight end for Jim Harbaugh. They call us a key player, but maybe he looked at it. Maybe he's older. Being Keenan Allen. Maybe because he's older, and they wasn't trying to eat that $5 million cap either. They weren't trying to eat that, so it was really a roster move for us, free up the cap space. And he's older, so they might have felt he's on the latter end of his career. You know what I mean? I'm sure they wasn't going to try to give him no max dollars anyway. So what you looking at? Maybe a 2-year deal? Maybe a 2-year deal? What you looking at?
1-year deal.
For him. 1 year, right?
Yeah.
It's been 1 year, right? So they're not losing anything in that deal. They gained the tight end. They gained the running back.
But they lost the running back. That was a good one. And they lost 2 wide receivers that were good.
That's part. The 2 receivers, running back, they wasn't using like that anyway. So even the Austin Eckler move, I don't think it really hurt them because they didn't use them like the way they were using them the year prior. Last year was a bad year for them, honestly. So if you're going to grade, if we're going to grade them, A through F, right? I'll give you a C.
C minus.
I'll give you C minus.
C minus.
I wasn't impressed. Yeah, C minus for me. I agree.
Passing, but barely.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the defending champions, Kansas City Chiefs.
Go.
The big one is they re-signed Chris Jones. Fantastic.
Needed to.
They tagged Snead, and they brought in Marquise Hollywood Brown. So they got that speed, the over-the-top speed.
Look. B. To me, you had to sign, glue it to your defense. All right. You did bring a speed guy over. So that's another weapon you're going to give Mahomes. With Mahomes, he makes everybody great. So Marquise Brown might have a great year next year, actually, with a quarterback that can make him great, because he's a speed guy. He's definitely a speed guy. So you got to respect the speed guy. He's going to get a lot of opportunities because you got so many weapons that they're going to throw at you. And then, Andy Reid, man, his playbook is insane. We gave Eric Bieniemy way too much credit. Okay? Because as we've seen, he went to the Commanders. They were trash. And Andy Reid got another championship. So who was the guru of this offense? You gotta stop feeding you gotta stop putting the helium in the helium balloon, okay? Eric Bieniemy. Somebody had to bust your balloon because you're not even going to be on the coaching staff for the Commanders.
No, he's another year where he doesn't get a head coaching job.
And I don't think he ever will.
To wonder if that's ever going to happen.
I'm
going to grade it a little higher. I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to say B+.
Okay.
B+. Raiders, they brought in Minshew. They got rid of Garoppolo and they signed the big boy, Christian Wilkins. You're going to have him on the front line with Max Crosby.
Oh, that's pressure. Oh, that's pressure.
Good.
That's pressure.
That's good.
I would have loved some
Who you
more.
double teaming?
I would have loved some more offensive prowess, especially at the quarterback position. Minshew is not the answer. He's not the answer. So I don't know if they're going to go in the draft and try to solidify pick through the draft, but still you're going to bring the young quarterback. I don't know, man. I'm obviously on defense. It's a splash, so I give him a B. I give him a B just because of the defensive side of the equation. Hopefully they'll be able to put them pieces together and bring some pressure. Because as you know, the defense at times has been shoddy, especially on the back end, in my opinion. It's not really been the front too much, but now that you can bring pressure, it might even help the guys in the back some. So I give him a B, B minus.
I'm gonna go a little lower. I'm gonna go B minus. I love the Wilkins signing, and I don't want to say they overpaid him, but they made sure that nobody else was gonna get a crack at him because he got bigger than big money. Like you said, Minshew, that doesn't make me feel great. And they lost Josh Jacobs.
Yes,
they didn't really replace him. So right now, I got him at a B minus at best.
I agree.
Who else is in that division? Because I don't.
Denver Broncos.
Broncos. That's the team that I have nothing. All they did was lose players. They didn't bring in.
All they lost was Wilson, right?
All they did was lose players.
So I don't
That's
know.
all they did.
I ain't nothing to comment on them. Then Denver. It's Sean Payton's team now. You, buddy.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll call Drew Brees out of retirement. Who knows?
But I tell you, they're up against it cap wise, so they couldn't really sign anybody. They had to let the few good players that they had to let them go. Justin Simmons, Bradbury, things like that, and Russell's out of there. So
I don't think
we'll get to him. So right now, I have them as an F.
Definitely F.
F. As in
and in
fail.
that division, I don't see y'all making no splash.
F.
Fail.
Let's go to the AFC East.
Let's go.
The Bills. They signed Trubisky. He's obviously going to be a backup, and he's back in Buffalo. He was in Buffalo a few years ago. And they signed Curtis Samuel, previously the slot receiver from Washington.
Yeah.
So, they lost Gabe Davis, so you kind of got to see this as a replacement for him. I don't see it as equal because Curtis does get dinged up a lot.
Yeah.
So
I got it as a D.
I got this as a C minus, so we're right there. There.
Yeah, I like the D. I'm not too impressed with the move, honestly. So you gave it a little higher than me. I give it a D. Not impressed. Talking about championship, you go for champion. Y'all need to give that man some more weapons that's going to work, man. Because this dude, y'all should have got a running back. Y'all need a running back. Like a durable running back, a real running back. Because Josh Allen does way too much, man. Way too much in our offense, man. You got that man running for the sticks. He's throwing. He's taking on way too much pressure, man. Way too much. So as long as they don't address them issues, they'll never be Super Bowl contenders, in my opinion. Because when you need the quarterback the most, you're putting way too much pressure on them, man. Come on, man. You got
then they make a big deal when he turns the ball over. He's trying to do everything.
Everything. There's no balance. So he has to force the issue. You got to get a man some balance, Buffalo. No, it's a D, man. Y'all did not go address the issues. Maybe y'all going to get him in the draft. Once again, we still got the draft. So hopefully they address that issue in the draft. Get you a young gun in there that can kind of make some holes happen. But at this point, if we're just talking about what they have done so far, it's a D in my opinion.
I'm right there with you. I got C minus. Dolphins, they lost a lot. They picked up a few. The standouts to me is Shaq Barrett. They got him from Tampa Bay. and Jonnu Smith, the tight end. Other than that, I didn't really see a whole lot of improvement. They lost some standouts, especially on defense. They lost Howard, the tight end. They lost Wilkins. You know what I mean? They lost quite a bit.
They lost some pieces, man. So
they added a few, but I'm gonna say
they're in the same area with me. They're things D, man. In my opinion, I don't think you really upgraded any.
I'm also gonna say a D because that's not passing. Shaq Barrett is good, but he doesn't make up for what they lost.
And he's on a decline. He's a decline. You got a decline guy. He's a decline guy, man. He's on a decline. So D for decline.
Oh, who else? Okay, Patriots. Not a lot. They brought back Jacoby Brissett.
Okay.
But they're probably going to draft a quarterback, so I don't know if he's going to be a bridge or the backup. I'm not sure. And they brought in Antonio Gibson, running back from previously from Washington. Yeah, those are really the standouts. The Brissett one might be a little better than how we would think of it.
Yeah,
because
he's reliable. Yeah. I guess I give a C minus.
I give it a C. I agree.
Yeah,
just flat C.
It's it's nothing to rave about. It's nothing to say you dropped the ball. Nothing to rave about. You just like that middle course. We know they're gonna go get a quarterback in the draft. They let Mac Jones go. You know, so we know what they're going for.
Then we got the Jets.
Man, oh man, talk about them Jets, brother.
They brought in Tyrod Taylor, so they actually now have a backup quarterback.
They do.
Until he plays, in the first half, and then he gets hurt, and then he's out. Because that dude, he trips over a cordless phone and misses time. It's crazy. They brought back Morgan Moses, the tackle, right tackle. He was previously on the Ravens. And they brought back your boy. Well, they didn't bring him back. They took him from Dallas, Tyron Smith.
Oh man, that's man. Listen, that's an AMI book.
Oh yeah,
it's an A. Because you gotta think they solidified that old line for the old man, Aaron Rodgers. He already had weapons galore on there. The defense is still a solid defense. And you gave him a backup that's, like you said, as long as you ain't got to step in too much, you got one that could get you through. So I think they actually addressed a lot of issues they needed to address, especially on the picking up Tyron Smith.
They got two starting right tackle, left tackle bookends.
Yeah, that was there. It was an A in my book. They did what they had to do, solidify that line, man. They ain't gonna let that man get hurt. That's too much money invested in that quarterback.
So that's that division. All right, now let's do AFC North. The Ravens. Well, what I'm hearing on the radio is the Ravens lost the queen, but they gained a king. And that would be one Derrick Henry, future Hall of Famer. Derrick Henry, previously the Tennessee Titans. That's their big get. He replaces Gus Edwards. That's an upgrade there.
That's definitely an upgrade.
And now you can't. What do you do with the Ravens?
Almost. You never question the Ravens' running ability. So for a running back of that stature, I think it's a great pickup because he's not required to carry the ball 30, 40 times a game like he did in I'm exaggerating with the number call, but he was he was a workhorse in Tennessee, man. So in Baltimore, no, they put him out the playoffs. Derrick Henry ran all over him. So to have him in that backfield with Lamar Jackson in another year in that system, because now you have another year to be acquired with that system, so it's going to open up a lot of things for him. And then by having a thorough running back that the guys ain't got to worry about being injured, hopefully, because something about Baltimore, maybe it's the turf. I don't know. I'm not going to speak on it yet because every running back that runs for Baltimore gets injured, every last one of them. So hopefully, if he's durable, it's going to take a lot of pressure off the big man, Lamar. You got to respect Derrick Henry, man. You got to respect him. So that you're talking about stuff in the box. I don't care what you tell me, man. They tell me he's on the decline. You still got to respect his ability. So you're going to stuff the box. You're not going to cheat and give him an open box, right? So you're going to stuff the box and open up the chance for Lamar to really exploit him with his arm. So if it runs that way with that offensive coordinator they have, which I like him as an offensive coordinator, I think it's going to be a very dangerous squad you're looking at, man. Very dangerous. So unlike Ryan Clark said, I think it is a great upgrade. I think it is. So I think I give them B plus. I don't say A. I'll give you B plus.
I'm going to say A minus, and the only reason that it's not just a full-fledged A is it's only one guy. They got better by adding one guy. So I thought Henry was perfect for either the Ravens or the Cowboys. Ravens got him. Bengals, they lost Joe Mixon.
Yes, he did.
And they have Zach Moss now as their starting running back. They signed Mike Gesicki, tight end, to a 1-year deal, and they signed Sheldon Rankins, defensive tackle, to a 1-year deal. Nothing real sexy there, but
I guess
you just worry about this T. Higgins thing. But if he's there if he signs the tag, they got good offense. They do.
And you get Joe Burrow back. I would want to address the O-line more than anything because that was a big issue with the O-line.
Well, they didn't really address it.
Exactly. So for me, it's a C because y'all haven't addressed the issue of the O-line. That's you need to protect your franchise, man. You need to protect your franchise quarterback. So that's been number one concern of mine is beefing up that O-line. Because as you know, it's a slow burner, man. Especially in the beginning of the season, it takes a while for them to gel. Now, when they get towards playoff time, it's different. It's a whole different unit. But in the beginning of the season, it always takes about maybe week 5, week 6 to really start to gel. And that time, your quarterback's getting destroyed in that backfield, man, before y'all get it together. Y'all can't afford to keep starting off the season like that.
Would you grade them?
C.
I'm going to say C plus because I'm going to project that they're going to take an offensive lineman in the first round.
That'd be smart.
And when we have our special, I'm looking forward to this, our special draft podcast. I'm preparing for it now. I'm already getting information and data. So I'm going to say C plus because until they just got Mike Gesicki, I was thinking that they might get Brock Bowers because just situationally he might just fall to them. But now with them signing Gesicki, that's not really a need, and offensive line is a need, and there's a bunch that are going to go in the first round. So I'm going to go C plus with them. Browns, they signed Jameis Winston. He's going to be a back. He's going to be a backup.
Is he a backup or a motivational speaker? Because he's having a job being a motivational speaker.
Distraction is what he is to me. And they signed Jerry Jeudy, who, let's be honest, has to this point underperformed the expectations that were that he had back in 2020.
He had a big issue with Steve Smith.
Steve Smith. Well, Steve Smith called him out.
He called him out. He called him out. He said
the truth hurts, man.
And it hurts. And instead of you having the old boo-hoo moment and just saying, hey, you're a hater or whatever, no, prove it on the field. Put the numbers up. Live up to the potential that you came out of college with. That's what you do. Don't go, oh, he's a hater. He's a crap. It's his job to hate you if you're not doing your job.
Yeah.
That's how you kill the white noise. You do your job.
You can't praise someone who's not performing. What's he supposed to do? This is a Hall of Fame wide receiver. I mean, he's either going to get in or he's already in.
Yes.
But this is a Hall of Fame caliber wide receiver. And and then you're going to throw a tantrum when he's on the air talking. You're going to go make a fool of yourself, yelling back at him while he's on the mic. Grow up. And maybe he'll benefit by being the number 2 behind Amari. but I don't know. I don't love it. I give
I
it a
don't love
C
it either,
minus,
man. Yes,
C
I'm with you.
minus, and an F
Minus,
best.
borderline D. Not impressed.
Hmm. Steelers. So got to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah,
They not only did they steal Patrick Queen in division from the Ravens,
he did.
but they traded for Russell Wilson.
He did.
And right now, Russell Wilson is the only quarterback on the team because
He is.
earlier today, Kenny Pickett got traded
The Eagles.
to the Eagles.
I think they got a lot of faith in Russell Wilson. For Russell Wilson, I think it's time for you to live up. I think he's on the decline. I mean, straight up. His best
He's 35 years old.
his best years past him, okay? But I think he's better than Kenny Pickett and them boys. I think it's an upgrade at the quarterback position because you didn't get no continuity out of none of quarterbacks. Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, or Kenny Pickett, So at the end of the day, I don't know about them pulling the trigger on Kenny Pickett because he was what, second year in. Like I just think that you could have like at least 3 or 4, I'd say at least 3 years. I want to see what he could do. I mean, he got injured last year. He wasn't lighting up the scoreboard, but he showed the potential in some games. With Russell Wilson, he had, I ain't gonna say a terrible year because he started to come on. I just think that he never gelled with Sean Payton. I just think Sean Payton
kidding.
there with just an agenda of this is not my guy. So now that you go to Pittsburgh, hopefully he can get rejuvenated and say, hey man, we believe in you. We got a decent defense, but then Denver had a decent defense. So it ain't the defense, it's the same situation to me. You ask me, it's the same kind of pieces. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I don't know, man. I guess it's a C to me. It's a C.
Yeah, I'm gonna say C plus, but what I'm hoping personally, I'm hoping this is the spot that Justin Fields lands. Because
Yes.
I do think they're moving on from him. And I do think that if he goes to Pittsburgh, he will have an opportunity to compete for the starting job. And, if you're Pittsburgh, both Justin and Russell are super cheap. They're super cheap. Justin is on his final year of his rookie contract, so he's like $2 million. He's super cheap. You can decide if you want to give him the 5th-year option at the end of the year if you want to do that. And what's his name? I think Russell is only there for $1.2 million because the Broncos are paying $39 million. The rest of his dead money, $39 million in dead money. So I'll do it. I mean, give us your 5th round pick. Give us a 5th. You'll have two. You'll have an aging quarterback and another quarterback that's trying to hit his prime. They're both like the same style of quarterback, so you can leave the offense the same. They have Arthur Smith now as their offensive coordinator. So let's see. I'm hoping that's where Justin goes. I'm hoping that's where he goes because I don't want. I'm going to get into it in a minute, but I don't want what looks like is going to happen is that both Caleb and Justin will be in the building at the same time. I don't want that. As Michael Irvin said yesterday on the Rich Eisen show, that would be a big boo-boo if Chicago did that. That's a quote from Michael Irvin. You know who that is, right? Michael Irvin?
Know.
Yeah, you know. You know. Where are we at? Let's continue. The Texans. So we're going to do the AFC South now. The Texans picked up Joe Mixon and Danielle Hunter. Oh, that's pretty good.
I'm liking them. I'm liking that move, man. I actually like that move. B plus in my category. B plus.
I might go a little higher. I might go A minus on that one.
Yeah, I think
considering who's already there.
Angel Michigan run that pill, man. So yeah, you didn't lose nothing at the running back position.
So who's next? The Colts. They got Joe Flacco as a backup to replace Minshew, and they
Okay.
re-signed Michael Pittman, which I think is good.
Okay.
He was on the franchise tag for a couple days, and then he got the new contract. I think that's really good. He's one of those. I'm not going to say superstar, but he's one of those starting.
Yeah, he's definitely a star. He's definitely a star. So you
Yeah,
better resign that guy, man. I like it. I think it's a B. It's a B. B.
I think it's a solid B. Correct.
Yeah, it's solid B.
Big spenders now. The Jaguars. They signed. Well, they traded for Mac Jones, so they got a backup. They signed Gabe Davis. They signed the center, Mitch Morse. They signed Eric Armstead, and they signed Darnell Savage.
A in my book.
That's an A.
A minus.
A minus.
A minus. They definitely addressed some issues. They definitely did, and went out aggressive. They was aggressive. So yeah, I think that when they imploded last year, they realized that we need to get some key pieces because they were supposed to win that division. No question, they supposed to win that division. They're supposed to contend in that AFC playoff hunt, and then they just fizzled out, man. They fizzled out, man. Fizzled out. So hopefully they don't repeat that same step next year. So yeah, you got to be aggressive, man. You got to be aggressive.
All right, so far so good with the Jaguars. Titans, also big spenders. Got a new head coach. They signed Mason Rudolph as a backup quarterback who played pretty well at the end of last year. That's why Pickett got aggravated, because when he got healthy last year, they kept Mason Rudolph in there. Yeah. They signed Tony Pollard. They signed Calvin Ridley, took him from Jacksonville. He got a big contract. And they signed center Lloyd Cushenberry. He got a big contract.
Man, that's
so I think the Titans did pretty well for themselves.
They did, man. I'm gonna give them an A minus.
I'm gonna give them a B plus. Tony Pollard at this point is not Derrick Henry, so that is a downgrade. But they upgraded at center. They helped at wide receiver. Assuming that they keep Hopkins, that's gonna be pretty nice. So I'm gonna say B plus. Your Cowboys. Let's do the NFC East. The only thing that I saw positive was they signed Eric Kendricks. That's it. That's the only positive.
F.
Oh, F.
Failed.
I'm gonna say I for incomplete. Incomplete. I really think they're going to do something. I don't see Jerry saying we're all in this year and this is what he's doing.
Yeah, but I'm just going to offer what we got now. Not
what you got now is an F. What you got now is an F. But let's check back in 2 months. I'm going to say in 2 months it'll at least be up to a C. Okay. That's a C, which is, not great, but it's passing. The Giants making a little noise. They signed Drew Luck as for a backup 1-year deal. They got Devin Singletary, I guess, to replace Saquon Barkley. Not as good talent-wise, but more reliable, so availability. Yeah. And they traded for Brian Burns. They got Brian Burns from Carolina. Now you got the two bookend defensive ends. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So I go with B minus.
Yeah, I'll agree. B minus. Eagles. Somehow the rich get richer. They traded for Kenny Pickett, so they got their backup. They signed Saquon Barkley. When healthy, he's a legit weapon. And they signed Bryce Huff from the Jets, who was one of the premier defensive ends rushers in free agency this year. And I think he's only 27. So That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think I'm gonna say A minus.
Yeah, then
Eagles.
Fletcher Cox retired, and Kelsey retired too. So they lost two veterans to their squad. I would be surprised if Lance Thomas will retire soon. You feel me?
Oh, and they also, I didn't write it down. They also signed Devin White, middle
Devin
linebacker.
White, right? So yeah, I give him A minus.
A minus. And the last one in that division,
Commanders.
Washington's been spending some money.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota as a backup. Austin Eckler, running back. He's a little old now. Zach Ertz, tight end, a little old. Dante Fowler Jr., little old. Bobby Wagner, little old.
Yeah, y'all signed
a lot of names, but I think they're
old.
all in their twilight.
Man, give me D, man. That is not the upgrade. This D, man. You got some names. Old, man.
I'm gonna do better than
that.
They can still play.
If I don't know, they're gonna be durable all year, man. They're gonna be using them in packages, man. I mean, it's the Commanders, so I don't know, man. I mean, they got a defensive-minded coach, so.
And he brought back some of his guys. Dante Fowler, Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, I think he's reliving the past, though, man. I think he's reliving the glory years when it was the Legion of Boom. This is the Legion of Doom, okay? D, man. D for me, brother.
Ooh. I think this is where we're going to disagree. I'm going to say B minus.
Wow.
B minus. I think because first of all, I think they're going to draft Jaden Daniels. So I think Marcus Mariota is going to be very good for Jaden Daniels. They're the same style kind of quarterback. So, former Heisman Trophy winner, things like that. I'm going to say B minus. That's mine. All right. My division, NFC North. The Bears. They signed DeAndre Swift. They traded for Keenan Allen. They signed Gerald Everett. They signed Kevin Beinard. And they re-signed Jalen Johnson. I don't know about you.
That's an A, man.
And you could think that I'm being biased.
No, that's an A+.
Right now, this is and I didn't even name some of the other offensive linemen. They got a starting center, backup center / guard, and 2 backup tackles. So right now, for what they could have done, it broke my heart that they didn't get Wilkins, but I'm going to say an A right now.
I agree.
I think they right now may have the best as far as this week went in free agency.
I agree.
They are right there. Right there. And I just want to point out while we're on the Bears, because a lot of people in football like to say how, Bears can't afford to make the same mistake they did last year. They had the number 1 pick and they didn't take CJ Stroud. I want to remind everybody, even though you and I liked CJ Stroud the best out of the quarterbacks, because I remember having that conversation with you last year, most football people thought Bryce Young was the pick. Bryce Young wound up being the pick. Okay. But now we're gonna move the goalposts and say, oh, Bears could have had CJ Stroud. Let's just talk about what that draft did for the Bears. Okay, they didn't get CJ Stroud. They didn't. But they got whatchamacallit? They got a starting right tackle. They got the number 1 overall pick this year. They got DJ Moore. And the 4th round pick that they got, they were able to get what's his name? Keenan Allen with that pick. And they still have a 2nd for next year. So they've brought in a lot. Oh, and starting cornerback Tyreek Stevenson. So they've made the most out of that, and they're going to draft a quarterback that everyone said if he was able to come out last year would have been the number 1 pick last year over Bryce Young. And that's who they're going to get this year. So,
they made a splash.
Yeah, I think Ryan Poles is sleeping well at night. I don't think there's any regret at all. Lions, the big one to me to stand out is DJ Reader, defensive tackle. That's a good get. I think he was the second or third best defensive tackle that was on the market this year. DJ Reader, along with what's his name on the front line, I think that's going to be pretty good. That was a need.
Oh,
yeah. It went from a weakness to a strength.
Yeah. So I give him a B.
I give him a B too. Packers lost Aaron Jones, but they replaced him with Josh Jacobs. They signed Xavier McKinney, safety, to replace Savage, and they re-signed A.J. Dillon. So I think the Packers are as good, if not slightly better than last year. Yeah. So I'm gonna give them a B.
Yeah, I give them a B too. Solid B.
Now the Vikings are interesting. The Vikings signed Sam Darnold to a 1-year deal, and they signed Aaron Jones, took him away from the Packers.
Yeah.
But what they also did today, they traded up. They traded their 2nd round pick this year and their 2nd round next year with Houston, and now they're picking at 23 in the 1st round. So they have 2 picks. Now they have 11 and they got 23. The rumor is they're going to package those picks to try and move up into the top 10 to get a quarterback. Sounds like they're going to try and go for J.J. McCarthy. That's what it sounds like. So they're going to have to get a McCarthy from
Michigan. Yeah, that's what they're going with.
Well, I don't think that's enough to get them in the top 3. And considering Chicago's going to go quarterback. Let's just face facts. Washington's going to go quarterback, and New England has to go quarterback. So they can't get into the top 3. So at best is top 5.
Chargers. What about Mike Pennant? You think he's gonna go be a top 3 quarterback?
So it depends on the day, but I hear Penix is anywhere from middle of the 1st round to early 2nd. That's what I hear.
You think he might drop to Minnesota? If Minnesota goes up?
I think if Minnesota wants Penix, they can get him at 11. He'll easily be there at 11. He might even be there at 23. I don't think that's what they want.
So I think McCarthy fits their system.
For a guy that didn't throw much in college, man, he's wooing a lot of people. I guess he did really well at the combine, but you got to be careful with that. You got to be careful.
Man. I mean,
there's not a lot of tape.
Penix. I go for the Heisman candidate, man.
Well, the thing about Penix is he's a lot older, and he's got an injury history.
Okay.
So, Penix is in his mid-20s, and his throwing arm, he had an injury 2 years ago.
That makes sense.
So,
makes sense why you wouldn't.
As far as health goes, buyer beware, especially when it comes to your throwing arm as a quarterback.
Yeah.
So someone's probably going to get a steal in the 2nd round, but JJ's getting pushed, man. I think that's what I think they might package that and go to the Chargers. I think they might do that. I don't know. A lot can happen between now and then. So right now, Sam Darnold, Aaron Jones, and trading into the 1st round, I'm going to give that a C+.
I agree.
C+.
I agree.
Okay. Falcons, boy, did they spend money. The most polarizing signing, Kirk Cousins, coming off of a Achilles injury at age 35. He'll be 36 when the season starts. They also signed Ray McLeod and Darnell Mooney from the Bears. You can have them. I gotta be honest. I gotta see it. I gotta see him healthy.
Yeah,
I'm only gonna give this a C right now. It could turn into an A, but
yeah, I
right now
agree.
I'm only gonna give it a C.
Yeah, me too, because of the risk of just him being older and that type of injury. You're right. But they did need a quarterback. So
Oh yeah.
you said it could potentially be an A if he go in there and do what Kirk Cousins does. Because at least you got stability at the quarterback position. With all them weapons down they got in Atlanta, all they needed was a quarterback. So if he's able to fill that void, it's an A. But if he's not the same quarterback, then yeah, it's a C. And you get a lot of money to a guy that you know is over the hill. You know,
He's made with this contract. I think they said he's made $411 million
that's crazy.
for a guy
Kirk
that's won one
Cousins,
playoff game. One playoff game.
man,
Oh,
it's crazy, man. That's
like,
crazy.
oh well, hey man, don't hate the player.
I ain't a player,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
His wife loving it, ain't she?
Oh yeah, because she's from that area.
You
She's
damn
from
right.
that area.
Well,
Gets to go home. Panthers. They spent some money too, but they spent it. I'll give them credit. They spent it the right way. They invested on the offensive line. They got two guards.
they
They
did.
got Robert Hunt and they got Damian Lewis. They
Yeah.
gave them big contracts, and they also traded for Dante Johnson from Pittsburgh.
I think, man, I give him an A because you need to address your own line because you got to keep your quarterback. I mean, obviously that's your franchise. Okay. I still think that Bryce Young is upside to him. I think that when he went through, I don't want my quarterback to go through, to be honest. CJ Stroud is a phenom, but he ain't been tested yet. So I'm curious about next year. You know what I mean? Because of his success early, how will he do it sophomore year? Because now we got tape on you. I mean, I don't think it's really going to matter because he's just that type of athlete. I think he's really that good. But still, who knows, right? And Bryce Young, by you going through the fire, by you going through this struggle, while you going through that, now you know you need to work on your offseason. Now you come back focused. Now the game should come slowly to you now. Because before it was fast. You was rushing, your cadence. You was rushing all your mechanics was being rushed. So now that you have a whole year and this NFL speed, now we can start to see you live up to your potential. It's always a sophomore year. Hell, Peyton Manning went through his first year. He led the league in interceptions.
Sure
Obviously,
did.
he was a bigger quarterback, but still, what I'm saying is the fact that every quarterback that you name was a great one struggled their first year in the NFL. Man, it's a different speed.
Mm-hmm.
It's the sophomore year where you start to see the upside. Like, but yeah, we got one. So I think by going through what he went through actually helped him more than it hurt him, in my opinion.
Well, I also like the fact that they invested in guards.
Yeah.
Because that's what the Saints did when they had Drew Brees. So he had that pocket where he could just stay in the pocket and not get off his spot. And I think as a smaller quarterback that Bryce Young is, you got the guards now that will let him stay in the middle, not be on the move, because he is really more of a pocket passer than anything else. I'm going to give him an A- only because the minus part because they lost Brian Burns and he was their best player.
Yeah.
That was it. Where am I? Oh, the Saints. They signed Cedric Wilson. They re-signed Tyrann Mathieu. Nothing to write home about. I'm going to say C-.
It's mine.
Buccaneers, pretty good. Just in the re-signings, they didn't really bring in anybody, but they re-signed Baker Mayfield. They re-signed Mike Evans. They re-signed Levante David, and they tagged Anthony Winfield Jr. So they brought back their guys.
Of course, yeah. So I give him a B.
I give them a B. I'll agree with you. Cardinals. Cardinals, the only standout was that they signed Desmond Ridder to be a backup.
Oh my goodness, man, D.
I'm gonna say D. I'm gonna say D minus.
Man, I got an F in my category, man.
D minus.
He did nothing, man. Yeah, we ain't got to talk to him further,
They're
man.
they're gonna wind up signing Marvin Harrison Jr.
I hope we don't go there, man.
That's where he's
I
gonna go.
really do,
That's
man.
my
But I thought
prediction.
they're gonna end up.
That's
he's
my
gonna end
prediction right now.
Yeah.
So as far as an off-season grade, I think it's going to go up. But as of right now, D-, and be lucky that I gave you that D-. Rams, two things. So really the only standout is that they signed Jimmy Garoppolo. He's the backup.
And
They
they're
wind up losing
down.
their center. The Bears signed their center away. But the big news of the day was Aaron Donald hanging him up, retiring.
Retired. Yep.
While we're on the Rams, there's only two teams left, and then we're done with this. While we're on the Rams, I'm going to ask you two questions.
Yes, sir.
Number one, I'm going to do one at a time. Number one, do you consider Aaron Donald to be the greatest Ram that franchise has ever had?
Hard to say. I'm not
Well,
gonna
it's
say
yes
that.
or no. I mean, of course, it's hard to say.
I'm gonna say
You got to think about the great.
Nah, I don't know, man. I ain't gonna.
Deacon Jones, Eric Dickerson,
Yeah, Deacon Jones, man.
Slater.
I give Aaron Donald. I gotta give Aaron Donald his due. He's the greatest Ram that did it.
Wow.
I gotta give him his due.
Wow.
I
don't know. I don't know that I put him over Deacon Jones, but
yeah,
what I will
Deacon,
say,
Deacon definitely was. But Aaron Donald, man, was a problem. I mean, Deacon was too. But Aaron Donald was a problem, man. We can't forget him when he was prime. He was a problem. He was. He was the number one Madden guy. He was.
I think I will put him at number one.
Yeah.
It's
a hard one between him and Deacon, though.
It's between him and Dinkin, but the thing is, Dinkin also, he was part of the fearsome foursome. So he had three other really good guys. He had Merlin Olsen.
And that's why I gave Aaron Donald that nod, because he was wrecking havoc by himself.
Right. Well, for the
one
most
guy.
But for the most part, he still had what's his name? Chris Long. He still had Robert Quinn. So he had a couple of good guys.
Yeah, but this guy was getting double teams, man. It was still find a way to get to that quarterback, man. He still leaving his mark on the field, man.
I mean, his resume, I memorized it. 10 years, 10 Pro Bowls, 8 All-Pros, 111 sacks. He's only the second defensive tackle to get over 100 sacks in his career. The other one is John Randall, which coincidentally is another small defensive tackle. It's the small guys. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, got the sack to end the game in the Super Bowl. I mean, what has this guy not done? What has he not? And Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year. In the same draft that Clowney went number 1. And he went number 13, and guess who was picking 14? Guess.
Bears.
Correct.
There you go.
Every mock draft that year had him going to the Bears, and Fisher ruined it for me. He ruined it for me. Anyway. Oh, and the other question was, do you have him on the Mount Rushmore of defensive players?
I do.
Does he make your top 4?
Top 4?
All time, Mount Rushmore. All time.
Nah. Never Mount Rushmore, no.
Well, now you got to give me your 4 that he doesn't sneak in. I'll knock off 2 easy. Okay. Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White. Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White. Those are 2 of the 4. Come up with another 2. Dion, Ed Reed, Revis, Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis.
Okay.
Ray Lewis.
Ronnie Lott. Dick Butkus.
Man, you got a lot. Mike Singletary was crazy. Nah. I'm not gonna do that, man. There's too many great ones, man. He great, but not the 4. He up there though, but not my top 4 though. No, sir. Not mine. Maybe yours.
I don't know.
Right.
I
Exactly.
don't know.
Like
I've
I
been
can't.
thinking.
I ain't
I've
really
been.
no
I've been
promo.
thinking
It's not
because I feel like you can't just do pass rushers. You can't
right.
just do defensive linemen and edge rushers. I think you got to get a linebacker. You got to get someone in the secondary. I love Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson and Ed Reed. I love those two guys. Deion Sanders. I love Deion Sanders. So I got to take one of them easily.
Yeah.
Ray
Yeah.
Ray Lewis. I think he is the best middle linebacker. I think he edges out Dick Butkus. But I feel like I'm missing somebody. I feel like there's got to be somebody awesome that I'm missing. So I don't know. I'm going to say not Mount Rushmore, but maybe top five. Maybe top
Yeah,
five.
top five.
He might be top five. Because I mean that he was the ultimate. He was the ultimate defensive tackle. Got him ahead of Mean Joe Green. Got him ahead of him. Got him ahead of Warren Sapp. Got him ahead of him. So,
yeah.
All right, food for thought. And we'll finish it up. We got two left. 49ers, the only real standout to me was they signed Leonard Floyd, which means they're letting Chase Young walk.
Yeah.
And they got rid of Eric Armstead.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Eric Armstead. Yep.
Leonard Floyd, he's traveled around. He's pretty
Yeah.
good, but not real good. So I'm going to say
minus.
C
minus. Yeah.
And the last one is the Seahawks. Sam Howell, backup. Leonard Williams is a re-sign. That's a good one. So I'm just going to say a C.
I'm gonna see. Solid C.
C. And that's really it. So I think my Bears are one of the big winners. I think your Cowboys right now are one of the big losers.
Yeah, man.
What I think.
Two polar opposites of the spectrum. Y'all made a splash and we crashed. Okay.
But with that being said, right now on paper, your team is still better than mine. Right now. Right now. You got the quarterback. Let's start there.
Nah, I don't care about that. You give me some drink love. I don't care about that quarterback. Not Dak Prescott fanatic.
He's got to get a new contract.
Does he?
Yeah, you got to pay him $50 million this year. That's why you're not signing anybody. You better care about him.
Might let Brian get the Trey Lance and play, man.
You talking crazy?
I'm talking crazy. Man. I just don't. Man, I just can't, man. We can't win with this guy, man. We can't win in the postseason. We can win in the regular season. We can't win the postseason with this guy. We just can't. We just can't. I don't care about the numbers in the regular season. We just hosted the first round of the playoffs, man. We did all that to lose to Green Bay, and not only lose, but get handled.
Give him credit for retiring Tom Brady. Tom Brady's last game was a loss against the Cowboys. You don't give him credit for that?
No, don't. I don't. Unfortunately, I don't. But wrapping that up, you're right. Bears A, Cowboys F. That's how we're gonna cut that one. And move
all
forward.
Right. Let's as Brian Gumble would say, let's move on.
Let's move on. Good, man. That's good. I just want to slightly touch on NBA because now we're starting to get into the playoff push. Now it's weeding and seeding. Now we separating the men from the mice, man. We're separating the champions from the losers, man. This is the time of the season where I'm loving because now you're starting to see that where these teams are really stacking up on the scale. Okay. I'll start with the East. No question. Boston got a team. Boston got a team, man. I think this is their year to really take it all away. I really do. I thought Porzingis was a great pickup. I thought Drew Holiday was a glue. I love where Tatum and Brown are just they play off each other so well. And Missoula, man, I'm gonna give him his credit. He's a great coach. He is. He knows how to have the boys playing. He got the
You
number
think he's
one record.
you think he's a great coach?
He knows how to get the. I gotta give him his due. They're the number one team in the NBA.
Look at that talent that they got.
No matter. You still need coaching to put it together. Doc Rivers had talent. Doc Rivers had talent. You can't tell me he had no talent with the Clippers. He had a roster. What did he do?
I don't know. I thought Missoula underachieved last year.
I thought that at the times when they pushed the game 7 with Miami. They got it back home. I just think that their star player didn't come to play, and they got injured that game. You know what I mean? Tatum got injured that game. So unfortunately, your best player got injured. I don't think he really made the adjustment that he did make the adjustment though, because he got a game 7 back in Boston. You know, I think he's a good. I won't say great. He's a good coach because he's able to gel, make them players gel, and still lead the East. And he leads the whole NBA in the East, the whole NBA. They're the first 50 game winners. Man, that's good coaching. That's good coaching. You know, Milwaukee's currently in the 2nd spot. I'm not a Doc Rivers fan, so I don't think they're going to get over that hump. But who knows, man? It's the playoffs, man. They might make a push. You know, Cleveland, solid. They solid. They Cleveland solid. You got New York at the 4th spot. My New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson balling out of his mind right now. He's missing New York. He found a home. We love that guy. But, you know, right now Orlando's the 5th seed. So it'll be a matchup between them and Orlando first round. Be very interesting first round.
Not a gimme. That's not a gimme.
Oh, it's not a gimme at all. It remind me of last year when they played Atlanta first round. You know, before they played Cleveland first round last year. It's going to be that type of series again, back and forth series, for real. Because Orlando got a squad. They do. And they're young, you know. So, yeah, it's going to be real good if it pans out this way. Obviously, it could be Indiana in that 5th spot, you know, because they might shuffle. Right now, Indiana's currently at the 6th spot. They got a solid team. I don't see them for past the first round, but, you know, that's what you're going to get when you get to the 6th spot. Philly, decline. Without Embiid, they might even make the playoffs, man, because they have to play for that 8 spot. Right now,
I watched it yesterday again, blow it against Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's bad, man. It's bad in Philly. Since Embiid went down, Embiid went down. Max, as great as a great player as he is, cannot carry that team. He just can't. You got Miami, always a threat. Always a threat. At least that's him getting to that 8 spot. Because you got Chicago and Atlanta, you got to beat out. Chicago and Atlanta. I don't know where to go. Bottom feeders.
Chicago stinks.
They stink. And Atlanta ain't too much better. So up to this point, that's the East. To the West, I told that young boy, I told you when we started our season, I told you. Okay, see? I told you the Thunder. I told you. Not that I think they're going to be number 1. I didn't think that. They're number 1. Well, technically, it's a tie between them and Denver for the number 1 spot. But the champion is a champion. I told you Denver's deep. I told you that. And until you beat them, they still got the best player on the planet to meet.
Oh, yeah.
Joker's the best player. They're going to say they're probably the Luka, but I'm telling you that the Joker is the best player. Straight up. Then you still got Jamal Murray. They're a deep team. So Denver, to me, is the team to beat the West. Hands down. OKC, nice though. They nice. They got a nice squad, man. Then you got Minnesota. I like the way Minnesota's playing. Anthony Edwards is playing like a star. The stuff he's doing to Joker is polarizing. Only thing I just don't get consistency from him. That's the only thing about Anthony Edwards.
They lost Carl Anthony Towns though for a while.
They always lose. Carl Anthony Towns is soft, man. Cotton candy, man. He's a cookie dough, man. He's soft, man. Soft. Still got Rudy Gobert, you know. But yeah, Cat, he got the right word. He's a cat. Soft. And I ain't talking about no lion. He's a house cat.
Kitty cat. Meow.
He's a kitty cat. Meow. You know. You got the Clippers. It's the Clippers, man. Kawhi got back spasms. It's the Clippers, man. Can't get too hype on the Clippers, man. Like postseason, I don't care about the regular season. It's the postseason. The Clippers, watch. It's the Clippers. They're not gonna go far. They got the Pelicans, young dangerous team. Young dangerous team. They one of them young dangerous teams, man. With the right combo, it could be a rough. It could be, man. They might be a rough out because right now they get the 4th or 5th spot. They could beat the Clippers in a 7-game series. You know. Then you got Sacktown, always a threat. Always a threat because you got double guys bonus. You got Aaron Fox. You got a scrappy team. Yeah, so they're a scrappy team. Then you got Phoenix, sleepers. I think that they still need a bench. The big
They need
three
a lot. They need a lot.
They do. And I thought they thought maybe bringing Kevin Durant. They lost a lot with Chris Paul. I don't care what you tell me. They lost a lot with Chris Paul because Chris Paul was a glue to make everybody get into the sweet spots.
Yeah, they just play hero ball. It's one-on-one.
It is. It's one-on-one ball. It don't work. That's why I said you needed a Chris Paul because Chris Paul actually gave you fluidity in offense. Now you just got, like you said, one-on-one players. Kevin Durant going for his, Booker going for his, Bill going for his. Not a good recipe. Then you got Dallas. Luke is always a threat. I like Luke, but you know, him and Kyrie, they taking the bulk of the shots. I don't think that recipe is going to work. It's not going to work, bro. And then you got the two old people, Lakers and Golden State. Father time fighting father time.
Mm-hmm.
No mystery that they're at the bottom. The era is over. It's over. As long as AD doesn't want to be the guy to go to, this is what you're going to get. If LeBron still got to log the minutes and do what he's doing, then they ain't going to win. The key to win is AD, but he played too soft. So that's my analysis for the NBA. Can't wait till the playoffs get popping, man, because to this point, I still got Denver and Boston meeting up to the finals, in my opinion.
I don't really have much to add. I also have Denver and Boston in the finals. But I got to tell you, man, Denver, when they come out of the West, they're going to have to earn it.
No, they are.
They're going to have to earn it. They're going to have to really earn it. And then if they play Boston in the finals, they're going to have to earn that too.
No, it's going to be, man, listen, it's not going to be easy. What champion has it been easy for?
Mm-hmm.
What champion has it been easy for?
Well, I mean, you could say that the Lakers winning in the bubble was easy.
Oh yeah, that was a joke.
That was kind of easy.
That's like what they get. Let's say Devin Haney was a mail-in champion. You got his belts because they mailed them in. You know, it's like okay, you know. Oh, yeah. Before I get to the NCAP, which will be the NCAA, I want to touch on the NHL real quick because you know it's about to be playoff season there too. Best time of hockey, ask me, man. If y'all don't follow hockey, best time is the playoffs. Most electrifying because you know in hockey, the one seed could lose to that last seed. Seriously, you know. And so far, the typical teams that I figured was going to be there. On the East, you got Florida at the number 1 spot. You got Boston at the 2 spot. But watch out for Boston this year. I think by them not having that radar on them, for them having that record, they might actually come out this year. You got Toronto, Maple Leafs. Toronto with me is always like they like NBA to me, man. Like the regular season they do good, postseason. So I don't know why they just can't make it all come together. They got a heck of a squad. They just can never make it come together. You got the Rangers, always a threat. You got the Rangers, they're a defensive-minded team. Carolina, at the 5th spot, dangerous. They're always gonna be dangerous. And then you got Philly, surprisingly. That'd be good for Philly. They got some passionate fans. Right now, we currently at the wild card spot. You got the Tampa Bay Lightning. and you got the New York Islanders. Islanders defensive squad, so you got to watch them because they can make a splash. You know what I mean? Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay, man. You know, I think I still got Boston coming out. Right now, I think I probably have Boston. But I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina or Tampa Bay made a run. You know, you gotta respect the Carolina was champion last year. No, was it them? No, was it Vegas the Knights?
The Golden Knights.
Yeah, Golden Knights won last year, didn't they? I don't know, was it Carolina? I know Carolina don't play in the final. It might have been the Knights. It was Golden Knights. The Golden Knights beat Carolina. Sure was. Yep. In the West, you got Colorado at the #1 spot. Always a threat. Always a threat. They should have won last year, honestly. Dallas, surprise. Dallas, that's what's up. You got Winnipeg. Winnipeg went on a nice little run there. Then you got Vancouver, the Canucks. They're at the 4th spot. Edmonton Oilers went on this crazy 19-game winning streak, so that puts them back in the playoff position. And then you got the Kings. When they made that coaching change, they need to make that coaching change because they got the talent. The coach was trash, so now they brought a new coach in. Now look at them; they're holding on to the last spot. And for the wild card, you got Nashville, you got the Predators, and you got the Golden Knights, the champs. So you know that part. So I'm looking forward to, man, how these teams pan out. I can't wait to the postseason. This is my best time in the season when it comes to hockey. You know, yeah, man. And to the NCAA basketball, right? I won't go into all the details because it's the tournament. It's like right now it's seeded. We try to find out who want to be the top dogs. So right now, currently, I'm just gonna give you the 1 and 2s. You know what I mean? Because that makes sense to me, the 1 and 2s. Right now, they predicted Purdue to be number overall pick, but I got Houston. I got Houston being the overall #1 pick, and they'll be representing the South. I got UConn that represent the East. They're going to probably be East. They're going to represent the East. Defending champion UConn, by the way. Purdue will be the Midwest champion, so they'll be representing Midwest. Strong team. Still got a strong team. They got the best big man in the game, Zach Edey. And you got North Carolina. They came on strong. Man, they got a good coach, Hubert Davis, a good coach, ex-Carolina Tar Heel, by the way. But for the 2 spots, you got Marquette, you got Arizona, you got Iowa State, and I forgot the last one. I apologize, y'all. I didn't get the last one. Let me see. Ain't no Duke. Ain't one of them.
What about North Carolina State? Weren't they pretty good?
North Carolina State, they just beat Duke. So
they just beat Duke 2 days ago, right?
They sure did, yo. I think they'll probably end up being either like a 4th or 5th seed, more than likely. Let me find out for you what they got it predicted as. Currently, they got NC State predicted to be
Ba-da-ba-ba.
Crazy. Man, they got them.
You got to be missing them. Well, anyway, look up the ACC standings.
Nah, they don't gotta make it, bro.
Really?
Currently, they don't have NC State making it. I don't think NC State really, unless they win the tournament, that's the only way that they're gonna make the selection. They will have to win the ACC tournament.
That doesn't really carry as much weight as it used to back in the day.
Yeah, but with that one, that's an automatic bid, though. That's an automatic bid. You win ACC tournament, that's an automatic bid. Yeah, they don't have them in there, man.
I thought they were pretty good because they beat Duke.
No, I think Duke just underperformed. Just like this car got beat. Tennessee got beat by Mississippi State. They underperformed. They're supposed to win that division. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. Well, North Carolina's going to roll with ACC. I don't see NC State beating North Carolina. And as far as ACC standings, I don't think NC State even has a winning record, to be honest, bro.
What is going on here?
Yeah, I don't think that they actually the ACC. Let me put it up for you, my brother.
Well, hopefully my Seton Hall Pirates get in there.
Yeah, now they said the Seton Hall is one of the ones that actually are one of the ones the last to get in.
Hopefully they do. They lost
to
the Johnnies the other day.
Yeah.
About that.
Oh man, yeah, man, NC State ain't making no tournament, man.
What are they?
They're 9-11, man.
They're what?
They're 9-11.
Hmm.
Yeah, Duke underperformed losing to NC State, man.
NIT, here we come.
Yeah, it's if they make NIT.
Oh, they'll make NIT.
9-11.
They'll make it.
I don't know, man. 9-11 is bad, bro. NIT is so bad. Yo, no, man. Like I said, like a Clemson and Syracuse making the NIT. NC State making heck no, man. I was like saying Boston College is gonna make it die. It's not happening. Only way they get in if they win the tournament. And I don't see that happen. You still gotta play. You still gotta play North Carolina. You got to play North Carolina. Pittsburgh out of it. North Carolina's beat Pittsburgh. And matter of fact, they're playing Virginia now. It's a tie ball game, 29-29 halftime.
Let's go, NC State.
That's a Virginia That's a Virginia score. That's a Virginia piece. 29-29 halftime.
Let's go, NC State. Come on. I want to see on Selection Sunday. I want to see them there. I want to see it.
Man, you better hope that they win the tournament, man.
That's the only way they get in.
Hey, if they beat Virginia, they be in the finals. They'll be going against North Carolina. I don't see them beating North Carolina.
Did you see them Did you think they were going to beat Duke?
No, I didn't. So you're right. Anything can happen, man. It's March Madness, man. Oh man. So I guess that's the end of our show, huh, man?
I don't really think there's anything else to get into. You know, there's Selection Sunday, so
yes.
You know we're gonna pay attention to that.
Yes.
So we're gonna talk a lot about the tournament on our next show. Listen, I'll be perfectly frank. I'm very much a novice these days with college basketball, but you know I'll take your lead and I'll pay attention as much as I can. I'm starting to get into hockey now because they're making that the end of the season push before the playoffs, and we know the first 2 rounds of hockey. I mean, they take a dump on the NBA playoffs.
Oh, they do.
They take a dump.
They do.
They are so much better. It's ridiculous. So we'll and then just before the NHL playoffs start, I'll try and get on a guy that was in my class with me and Michelle, and we'll see if we could talk a little hockey, the coolest sport, and you know, ask him a few questions and bounce some ideas and predictions off of him, because it'll help me as we go into the playoffs what to look for. But yeah, that's going to be our show. Want to thank all the listeners and viewers for tuning into the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast. And listen, I'm going to be at the Sixers game tomorrow, so look for me. I'll be waving, and I'll have a Bears hat on.
Oh man, congratulations on that one.
Oh, thank you. It's going to be a great game. Sixers and the Charlotte Hornets. The Sixers might actually win this game.
They might win.
They might actually win it.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go, Max.
Oh my goodness.
Tobias acted like he broke his ankle, and then 5 minutes later he's backing up playing defense. Whatever. Every time you miss a layup or a chippy, they
Look,
oh.
they shouldn't even charge you for that game. They should give you a charity ticket I'm trying to tell you, man.
I got good seats too,
I
man.
bet you do.
I got good seats. Lower level behind the basket.
Oh man, yeah, that must have been a steal.
There wasn't no steal. I had to pay for those
Yes,
puppies.
sir.
All right. So for Larry Loper, I'm Gil and Larry, wishing everybody a great weekend. We'll catch you on Wednesday. Be safe. Deuces, y'all.
Great show, my man.
Great show, brother.
As always. As
I'll see you
always.
later.
You know.